But yep, so that was that. But speaking of hurricanes and people who know how to predict them, Pat Robertson, the the infamous TV pastor, one of the most famous, largest watched Christian pastors on earth, syndicated all over the world. He's dead. Yep. So he's down in hell playing pinochle with Hitler and Mussolini, his good buddies.
How old was he again? 90 something?
93.
He was pretty old.
He was
95, 94,
he was 93. But yep, so he died. And we're just gonna go through. This was the Young Turks, and they just wanted to go through some of the things about his past and horrible shit he said. So here we go. We're gonna watch some of them cover this.
Televangelist and longtime friend of the show, Pat Robertson, has died at the young age of 93. The cause of death was that he was 93. But in all seriousness, his family confirmed that he has passed away, but they did not give a reason for his passing. Obviously, he was up there in age. Now, before we get to some details about his life, how he became a prominent force within the evangelical movement, why don't we remember him for who he really was?
What is this mac and cheese? Is that a black thing?
It is a black thing, Pat.
You might get AIDS in Kenya. If people have AIDS, you got to be careful. I mean, the towels can have AIDS. And the Bible says, if any man will not work, let him not eat. Now, that didn't say if any man will not work, let him go to the soup kitchen and let the government pick up the tab. Something happened a long time ago in Haiti. They got together and swore a pact to the devil. They said, we will serve you if you'll get us free from the French. I'm talking about the cheating. He cheated on you. Well, he's a man. Okay. There are a bunch of people who are just bums, and if these people are out drugging themselves, let them starve to death.
Let them starve to death. Let them eat cake. Pat Robertson.
No, he says don't let him eat anything.
No. What I love is Haiti. For those of you who don't know this, Haiti is. I mean, there'd been country like the Persians had done this before. Where they like you'd have a king or a prince that would rescind slavery for some period of time, but always come back. The first country to have absolutely no slavery and to make slavery illegal was Haiti. And what happened was there was a massive slave uprising on that island, and they pushed all the French out. Now, what he's saying is that slave uprising was the black people, the slaves, making a deal with the devil to get rid of the French. And they would have been better off if they'd have just continued to be slaves. I don't get it.
We obviously didn't watch enough of that clip to get to what he thought his point was, but my brain isn't even coming up with what he thought his point was, other than he wanted to say deal with the devil.
Yeah, I think that was his point. I mean, is that somehow that slavery was a good thing or whatnot? I don't know exactly. I will say one of my favorites of his was, and Stephen Colbert did a bit on this, was what he did blame one of the hurricanes on like abortion laws. I think it was Katrina, because the people of New Orleans had everything to do with abortion laws, federal abortion laws, right? But then he also, I think he was another hurricane he blamed on, was it gay marriage when that was going on? And Stephen Colbert did the best bit on his show at the time, where he did, yeah, and he's absolutely right. Because see, what you don't understand is how this works. What happens is you have gay cruises out in the Caribbean, and all that steamy, hot man-on-man action goes up into the atmosphere, and it makes angels cry, and that's where the rain comes from. And that's what causes hurricanes. People don't understand how important gays are to the water cycle.
I don't even know where you would make that shit up, but that's the funniest thing.
Well, because
Okay.
how else does that work?
Rainbows.
The gay people cause hurricanes.
Yeah. Sometimes you just hear this stuff and you go,
Oh god, but he was a total monster. Let's see, I got a couple more little clips here where they talk about him. We'll do this real quick.
by the way, that AIDS from towels thing was
Oh
a doozy
god,
too.
that was a good
Throw
one.
that out there. AIDS from towels. So like, let's be paranoid about everybody's freaking hand towels and stuff. My God.
Yeah, plus it's a bloodborne disease, so it's usually passed as an STD or by, you swapping blood with somebody
Milk or whatever. Yeah.
yeah. You can't really get it from a towel. I mean, if you share a razor with somebody who has AIDS, you could potentially get it, right? If they cut themselves, you cut yourself, right? But yeah,
And that seems pretty unlikely.
yeah.
The impact it had here in the United States, but apparently that show was carried internationally. So for
Oh yeah.
decades,
By the way, she's got a good point. That show was premiered everywhere. That was an international show, the 700 Club that he hosted.
Yeah.
he was
yeah.
a host
You know
of
what? I grew up in a conservative state. You'd walk into people's places, and there would be a whole lot of 700 Club going on.
Yeah, it's like
the
CNN.
700 Club, a casual talk show that combined hard right politics, faith healing, and lifestyle news, broadcast in dozens of languages and in more than 200 countries. I didn't know about that. The show made Reverend Robertson the world's most watched TV preacher, which, given what he would say is pretty terrifying. Now, Robertson often predicted doom for those he deemed insufficiently righteous and attributed natural disasters and other calamities to perceived political and moral failings. For instance, when Hurricane Katrina struck the Gulf Coast in 2005, he suggested the storm was God's punishment for legal abortion.
So that's the big thing about Pat Robertson, is he was one of the guys that melded right-wing conservative politics with Christian evangelicals and pushed for that. And he pushed for that hard, to make Christian evangelicals conservatives and part of that right-wing movement. And it was...
Sure, if you can get your religious views attached to a political party, then you suddenly give political power to your religion,
right?
Which, if you luck out, you can get policies to go the direction of what your morality is.
Well, right. And it's great when you're the preacher, then you're the guy interpreting the will of God. When you can ventriloquize a God and these people all believe in it and believe they should follow it, then anything you spew out of your mouth is good. I mean, this is the kind of shit that led to Trump. This is the kind of shit that led to the political party now with the right wing, where they just say whatever. Oh yeah, the smoke's not going to hurt you in New York, right? They just say whatever, and people believe it. But that was his whole legacy. They also talk about his run for president. I don't know if you remember this when he ran against.
What year was that?
2000. He ran against H.W. Bush in the primary. He lost the primary.
I did not remember that.
Yeah, but remember when he came in, everybody was, was like he had the most money backing him. What ended up happening is he was a Korean war vet, and a bunch of guys that served with him that were Marines came out and flat out said, no, he lied about his record. So he lied about being a hero in the Korean War. And that's what killed his presidential campaign. He eventually just dropped out. And that's when Bush won. But yeah. So yeah, it was just a horrible guy. So we're not saying we're glad he's dead. We're not saying we get any pleasure out of knowing that he's no longer alive. Okay, next story.
I will will say a sincere condolences to his family
Sure.
because I'm sure they're going through a rough time,
Sure.
and I can very much mean that. And then I'll just move on.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just trying to show my lack of pleasure. So